Okay, so this is Colorblind. It's a physics puzzle platformer game where you control this little car thing. That's the only name we've come up for it.
That's the technical term.
Yeah. This spinning triangle is the goal of the given level. And so the twist is that these three dials here represent the direction of gravity for objects of the corresponding color. So how that works, I can kind of show it by just knocking this thing over. So it's not as paradoxical as it looks, it's just a force applied in different directions based on color, but yeah, so I'm sure you can imagine that it's possible to come up with a bunch of puzzles that make use of this. So essentially that's what it is, it's a variation on a theme. So there's 50 levels, so I can show you maybe what's a good example. Passage is a good example for showing. So this level, there's this red door here stopping me from getting through to the goal. And that's the switch that opens it. But I can't get up there, so I also have these four switches. See the green arrow which is down, that switch is already pressed because green gravity is down. These switches change the direction of green gravity alone. So what I'm going to try and do is kind of strategically get the ball to fall and press the switch for me. I've tried to make every level quite different. I won't go through like every mechanic or anything, but one of the other mechanics that's very important is these lasers change the color of whatever they touch to the color that they are, which obviously changes the gravity.
Right.
So, for instance, red gravity in this level is to the left. If I try and jump for the goal now, I'll just sort of fall to my death because gravity is to the left now. But if I sort of sneak around, I can get here safely. And then I can keep sneaking around. If I keep sneaking around now, I'll fall off to the left as soon as I'm red again. But this switch here, red arrow to the right, changes red gravity to the right. And so now I can safely continue on my way. And now I'm back where I started, but because red gravity is to the right again, this has a different result. So yeah, as I say, it's everything I could think of that made use of that. There are a couple of things that seemed cool, but didn't work with just one car. So there's also split screen co-op. There's 20 co-op levels that are specially for co-op. The rules are essentially the same. I can't really demo it very effectively, but so this is going to be some raw work from me here. I apologize in advance, but essentially same rules of you're trying to finish the one player needs to get to the goal.
Okay.
And so each of these levels is designed such that anyway, I'm going to abandon that attempt, but essentially, yeah, you can pretty much guess where that's going. So yeah, basically my goal was, so two sort of philosophical things, I guess, you can call it that, about the idea behind the game. One was, it's definitely a puzzle game and a physics platformer, and so like, if I try and convince people to buy it who like puzzles but don't like physics platformers, it'll just wreck our user reviews. It's definitely a skill game as well as the other thing. And also I really wanted to make it so people never have to invent their own challenges for the game. Like you know, the modern equivalent of once you've beaten the game to death, like, you know, GoldenEye, playing like early levels, restricting your use of weapons and stuff like that. Hopefully, I want people to always have an extra developer-defined challenge ahead of them, if you know what I mean. I'll be very impressed by the first person who actually gets everything, because it takes me quite a while to do that. So yeah, I think we basically covered it.